Can you see my video?
I
Can you see
cannot. Nope, now I can. Yep.
Great. So where are you calling from?
I am in Connecticut, U.S.
I see. All right. A great, awesome place, by the way.
It was at this exact moment I knew I was in for the ride of my life. Because no one, and I mean no one, would refer to Connecticut as a great place. I'm Matt Lighty, and this is my video on Big Time. It's a video game that is yet to be released in pre-alpha, and I was invited to take a tour of their staging demo in the metaverse to engulf in some NFT adventures.
Well, do you know anything about Big Time so far?
I looked at the website, I looked at the Twitch page, the trailer, etc. I checked out the early access a little bit. I haven't actually engaged with the game at all, obviously. It seems interesting. I mean, the concept of NFT game integration is interesting.
I see. I'm actually here to help you. So, Big Time, it's actually a free-to-play MMORPG, and the gameplay is very similar to Diablo and World of Warcraft.
Now, hearing it's like Diablo 3 or World of Warcraft, to me was just initially confusing because these are two games that, in my opinion, play totally different. It's not like I'm going to play a FIFA game or play Madden, '07. Because when I think of Diablo, even in the very beginning, I think of this. And when I think of World of Warcraft, especially during raiding now times, I think of this. So I was a bit perplexed when I started to check out Big Time, and this is what I saw.
So if you ever play those games or if you ever enjoy playing those types of games, you're also going to love Big Time. So yeah, let me just share you my screen, and just let me know if you can hear the sound of the video. It's actually a game footage that I'll be sharing with you. Okay.
Let's fucking go. What is that? Is that an NFT?
Now, aside from this gleeful man screeching about his NFT, I wasn't getting paid for this, so what am I getting in return? Well, I'm getting access to the game early, which they refer to as the Ruby Pass, and apparently that has a value that is somewhat disputed throughout the course of this video.
By the way, this Ruby Pass actually worth $200. You can actually sell it on the marketplace. It's being tied with real world value. So yeah, you can there's a marketplace for that. We have a marketplace for that.
But the marketplace is linked to Coinbase, or what is it linked to specifically?
It's a link to Bitcoin.
Okay, so then you would be able to cash out the NFTs in-game through the market for a fraction of a Bitcoin. Some fraction of a Bitcoin, of equivocal value to whatever item. So if I got a sword in-game, and that sword was worth $80, I then convert that to $80 worth of Bitcoin, and that is now in my Bitcoin wallet.
Yes, that's correct. If you like the game, you can stream it. You can share your experience in any of your social channels. You can also make a video if you want, but
So that leads us to the main portion of the video. This was the live stream that I did being toured through the metaverse land of Big Time by a man named Gray. He is one of the representatives of the game. And here is the footage of me interacting with him, checking out the game for the first time, and asking some, well, probably less than ideal questions for his game and his company.
Everyone, welcome to the Big Time Play and Stream. I'm Gray, and today our special guest is going to be Ghostigo, Lighty, and El Fernandez. Lighty, would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself to everyone here?
Sure. My name is Lighty.
Now, some of you guys are wondering, well, what is a Ruby VIP Pass giveaway? Why should I care about this? A Ruby VIP Pass giveaway basically allows us to get you guys into early access for the game. Okay, why does that matter? Well, number one, previous VIP passes have sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars.
by the way, this Ruby Pass actually worth $200.
And we're giving this to you guys for free. Of course, there's a slight cost behind it, and it's really just making sure we have more viewers. For each viewer that we have, every 10 viewers that we have, we give away one Ruby VIP Pass. Number two, cool, you're in early access. What does that mean for you? Well, in Big Time, we have these exclusive and limited edition rare cosmetics in the shape of NFTs.
Is that an NFT?
So yeah, in Big Time, we have these exclusively rare cosmetics. They're basically known as NFTs. So as mentioned,
What killed me? How did I die?
oh, there's some yes. Were you looking at your screen when you were getting attacked?
It may have been.
We're going to see a lot of timelines kind of colliding into one another as we kind of travel back and forward through time. So we'll see, like, let's say, for example, the Jurassic time period. Then we have like the Wild West time period, and they'll be colliding where you'll see like cowboys running on top of dinosaurs. And a little aside, I know we've had some people, kind of remark on the name Big Time. That sounds a little, weird. But basically, the premise and lore behind that is really quickly. If you guys are familiar with Big Pharma and Big Tobacco, basically, there's a corporation within Big Time lore-wise. It's called Paradox Corporation.
Big Pharma, with laws protecting them, Big Pharma, with an immense conflict of interest, claims their vaccines are safe after their funded study. In short, Big Pharma is what Big Tobacco was years ago.
And the idea is that they're monetizing time, so they're effectively quote-unquote big time.
The tutorial is very wide. It's very it's a very wide chat box.
You don't have to look. You don't have to read it exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna have you actually, commit by doing. So
I could left click, yeah.
Yeah, so as you notice, as you're doing a bunch of left clicks, you're noticing these, or maybe see at the bottom of your screen, there's these white circles. Now, this is Big Time's combo system. At any point during your left click animation, you can do a right click, and that's going to elicit what's called a finisher move. So let's say you do a left click, a right click, as opposed to a left click, right click. You can elicit what's a different finisher move, which, some of them can stun enemies, some of them repels them away, some of them do a specific type of damage, some of them do additional damage, so on and so forth.
Semi-related. Is there a reason that the trainers for the skills are people in history?
Actually, yeah. So we are building that. I don't want to spoil too much, but yeah. Again, with Big Time being the idea of a time thematic, we actually will be having. I can't spoil too much in that regard.
I see Benjamin Franklin. I see Genghis Khan. So if you're traveling back and forth through time, and there's a chance that it's gonna. I don't want to spoil anything for you, but there's a chance that there could be some historical people from past and the future. There is a chance that in this game I could encounter Barack Obama as an NPC.
Yeah, absolutely correct.
I mean, everybody's got something to say these days.
And does any of the I mean, this is obviously pre-alpha, whatever, but does any of the progress occurring now carry over into the beta and then into the core game upon release?
So that's multi-layer question, multi-layer answer. Number one, we're in the staging build. This is a demo build. So anything here, just period, does not count effectively. That doesn't, the purpose of this is just to effectively demonstrate the game to people who are, tuning in right now. Allows us to stream as well. Because again, as mentioned earlier, previous VIP passes have sold for, hundreds of thousands of dollars.
By the way, this Ruby pass actually worth $200.
You can see that we have some text here. This is obviously not going to be here at live, but you can see that the adventure knows that we have a party size of 4. They know our respective levels, and so they've kind of scaled content back a bit for us. Ideally, we do want to play with 6 people, which is currently our max party size, to make sure that we have more mobs, and more mobs equals more loot. You can do a push-up, and at the top left-hand corner of your screen, you're going to see that we all have a buff now.
So you have to gather by a tree. We all do push-ups together. And then we kill some things.
Well, not everyone knows about the push-up method, but yeah, the push-ups do give you a buff.
Well, now it's public knowledge. So.
Not everyone's, well, yeah, but the idea is that, 100% we are there in that regards. So we didn't really get to talk about skills, actually, but if you look at your skill trees, you'll notice that it's pretty lackluster and pathetic. And that's actually intentional.
He is an idiot. We have purposely trained him wrong. As a joke.
Oh shit! Oh shoot! We have an NFT loot.
Beginning.
So you probably heard that already. And that's an
Heard
NFT.
a sound, yeah.
Yes, an NFT.
Is that an NFT?
So he could retire now because he's rich. That's what's happened. We're good to go.
No, so yeah, again, at the end of the day, the prices of these rare cosmetics is going to be player driven.
Now I haven't been really doing anything. I've just been looting. Is that okay? Do I have to tag mobs to get?
No, actually,
drop pools?
yeah. So you're actually bringing up a great point. Number one, the way items work in Big Time is they're actually instance based. So what that means is that all the items that you see on the floor in front of you, you can absolutely take them all. And the reason why is because, well, number one, we can't see them. What instance-based loot means that when an item drops, it drops for you and you alone. No one else can see it. But if you have an item on the floor still, you can see that there's 3 ways you can interact with an item. You can either pick it up, you can view the full details, which allows you to compare it to the item that you currently have equipped, or allows you to share the item as well. And sharing it lets you kind of show it to everybody else and say, hey guys, you guys can go ahead and pick this up.
I don't know if I should pick it up. It feels like it might be unethical to my character's progression.
It's up to you. It is a Chronomancer chess piece, though. It is for you, though. So.
Okay, has my name on it?
It has your name on it now.
Okay, I'll take that.
Oh yeah.
Have I made it into the big times now?
We're making it into the bigger times.
I'm in the biggest time yet.
But yeah, what I would tell everybody, honestly, is that if anyone here is coming into this game thinking that they can get rich quick. I think that's just very dumb mentality to come from.
So, two things. Hypothetically, though, I
Mm-hmm.
could, my first day of playing, get an item that could potentially be valued at some astronomical amount of money if someone were to associate it that value because of just the concept of NFTs.
Correct. If they wanted to buy it, but we do have a marketplace open right now. It's called nft.bigtime.gg, and all they have to do is they can see what the current price points of what items are worth right now. So right now, if you hit the tab button, you can go into your cosmetics,
Okay.
and there's a button that says go to marketplace.
Okay.
And basically when you go to, so let's say you have the live build of the game, you
Sure.
effectively go to nft.bigtime.gg.
Yep.
And you go to your profile that you log into, same way you log into the launcher. And you go to what's called My Collections, which allows you to view the items that you have currently with you in-game. There is a button underneath your collections. If you have an NFT, for example, it says move item from in-game to on the marketplace, allowing you to sell it. And there's a 5% fee if you do sell it, but that fee is taken after the thing. You don't have to pay it up front.
Now, that right there, he said, is where I imagine they're going to derive a large chunk of their revenue if the game were to actually take off. 5% of all transactions taken at the back end. When item sells for $10,000, they get 5% of that.
There's a certain amount of supply that will ever exist. Effectively, by upgrading your NFTs, you're combining other NFTs together, like the low quality ones, and you're fusing it to make a more rare NFT. So let's say, for example, there is 100 ice swords that exist, 100 fire swords that exist, and let's say you want to make a new sword, because you already have a duplicate of each. If you were to combine the ice sword and the fire sword, hypothetically speaking, you now just burn one out of the supply for each of them. So now there's only going to ever be 99 fire swords that ever will exist, 99 ice swords that will ever exist. And effectively, that will make you look even more cool. Do that. Oh, Gustigo, congrats.
It said I have looted one. Does that
Oh,
mean
sick! Yeah, you did. You just got one. Yeah, so because you were within range
I'm
of
rich.
us.
It's happened.
So go ahead and hit the tab button, and then go to the cosmetics tab.
I see it.
So yeah, while they may have like similar tiles, substructures and whatnot, where we have certain assets being built out, the pathing is always going to be different. The monsters, boss rooms that we're going to run will be different, as well as the mission objectives. And we do have other territory as we progress through the game. Oh, nice. This is cool stuff. This one I don't care about. I'm going to share this one, but it literally is nothing. It's actually just junk.
Now, hypothetically,
Yeah.
say I walked off the map and fell through the world.
Uh-huh.
How do I go about fixing that?
What are your concerns, actually? I think it's the better question to ask.
My concerns?
Yeah. Because it's easy to talk about the good stuff, right? But what are things
the
that
concerns are a game that has NFTs takes people's money and then flees with it. That's the base concern. But aside from that, the whole rug pull situation, I have the concerns first and foremost of any NFT game is that the gameplay is important, because if without that, it's a shit show either way.
Exactly.
So, it's hard to say in the pre-alpha. There's things in this game that look quite promising. There's things in this game that look reminiscent of other games. It's just there's the game doesn't have a whole lot of depth. It feels fun to run around. I like exploring. I fell off the map. So far, I'm pretty happy. Now, a question I would have is seeing this content. Is this content playable as a solo character, or is the entire game designed around having a mid to large size team?
While you can play the game solo, it's definitely not advised to do so. We will have, and the reason is simple. Again, we spoke a little bit about how the adventures they scale in content in relation to your party size and party composition. So if you play with one person, your adventure scaled to you. We also spoke about how items in the game are instance based. What that means is that you're not fighting for loot. You're not fighting for NFTs.
Is that an NFT?
The more people that you have, the more mobs you have, the more chances you have for more loot, as well as more NFTs, as well as more experience. You did ask about experience, and I completely kind of forgot about asking. Yeah, the answer is with more people, the experience is divided, but it is greater than if you were to play solo, if that makes sense, because you're also getting more mobs as well.
It's got particle effects on the
Sparkles.
handle, and it's got green. And on my screen, I have no arms. Now, do you see my arms at the moment?
I do, and that is, hence we're still in pre-alpha, dude, and I'll be honest, it is a little buggy sometimes.
There's no oxygen levels for swimming, it seems.
Oh
no, you just fucking die.
Kinda. The oxygen level is you can't breathe. You're done.
I'm coming back to you, Light.
I'm good.
Oh, okay.
Okay, maybe I'm not good. Is this accurate as far as the representation of where the fire is? I get the sneaking suspicion that even between the flames, it seems to be quite lethal.
Oh, okay. So it seems like it just does it.
It's
Oh,
just getting you.
That's
Well, now I'm fine actually. I don't know.
Oh, I'm glad you are, because
No,
I got
I'm not
fat.
fine. I'm no longer fine. I've passed. Do you have any anti-botting measures planned?
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
a game linked to
Making money.
Bitcoin feels real spooky to have just when people can just bot it out.
Yeah. So number one, the fact that adventures are procedurally generated automatically means that can't just tell a character to go 5 spaces forward, 2 spaces to the right, etc. Because again, it's procedurally generated. The pathing changes each time. Number 2, we have a lot of things on the back end. I don't want to kind of disclose too much on that because it also kind of gives people like the chance to explore and try to reverse engineer it. But we do have a lot of things on the back end and front end that does prevent botting.
Now, if there was ever like a less confident and worse answer for a question, I don't know if I've ever seen it. The question being, what are you gonna do about bots? And the answer being, our game basically creates such complication and obfuscation to the procedurally generation of the dungeon that the land of bots that exist, the billion-dollar market of gaming that has been proprietary molested by the series of bots through games that could basically start accounts and max them in a variety of different forms. This game is above all that. This game is too complicated. And that was part 1. Part 2 being, we have things on the back end. So, but that's the vibe. That's the vibe I get from Big Time in general. It's got a lot of things. It's got big time, but it doesn't got big substance. It doesn't got big reassurance. Is the gameplay fine? Whatever exists of it is so rudimentary. It's like a college project. Do I think they're gonna rug pull the nation with their NFT scam? Probably not. I don't think so. I really wouldn't be worried about that. So if the game goes free, would I suggest checking it out? I don't think it'll hurt, but in its current iteration, I can't imagine you'd ever want to.
Is that an NFT?